Hi and welcome to Praha TV Weekly News. Each week we bring you the latest highlights from Prague and the Central Bohemian region. Stories that matter, moments that inspire and news that keeps you connected to your community. I'm Marcela Tomčíková and I'm glad to have you with us. Let's dive in. Prague trains for possible high water. A large-scale exercise took place in Holešovice last week to test how quickly and effectively the city can respond to the threat of flooding. Volunteer firefighters, the army and technical units participated in the event. The result is almost 740 meters of mobile barriers built in a single day.
A comprehensive drill aimed at evaluating flood defenses was held in Prague's Holešovice area. This operation was coordinated by the City Hall of Prague, working alongside the integrated rescue system and various other entities. The goal was to test the city's preparedness for potential floods and verify the functionality of mobile flood protection elements.
At this moment, a planned exercise for the construction of flood barriers is happening in Holešovice. Every spring and autumn, the Prague City Hall organizes such exercises at different locations each time. It is essential to verify the specific site for any alterations or changes that might have taken place. In the event of flooding, the barriers can be built without any complications.
The drill included volunteer firefighters, members of the active reserves of the Army of the Czech Republic and the administration of the capital city of Prague, and included the construction of mobile flood barriers along the entire port of Holešovice. Specifically, in the section from the roundabout at Jankovčova and Sanderova streets to Varhulikova Street.
We expect the length of this section to be about 700 meters. I've mentioned that the height of the mobile barriers is around 4 meters, and at the same time, about 50 trainees will be observing, roughly 50 people. This actually includes active reserves and volunteer firefighters. We now collaborate with the Central Bohemian region, so local volunteer firefighters will join, and the report will handle the main financial aspects. The barriers are prepared for a level that was 30 centimeters in the year 2030.
The entire event took place from 6 in the morning until midnight, and the mayor of Prague, Bohuslav Svoboda, praised the involvement of volunteer firefighters from Central Bohemia and emphasized the importance of such exercises for the safety of the capital city.
Prague and the Central Bohemian region have launched the second year of a visitor game that combines ecological education with family trips. Participants collect wooden puzzle pieces and discover centers that care for injured animals and the nature around us.
Prague residents and the inhabitants of the Central Bohemian region can once again participate in the popular visitor game. The theme of this year's game is centered around ecological education and enjoyable nature discovery. Interested individuals can gather puzzle pieces while visiting eco-centers and receive a prize.
The idea originated at the regional office in the environmental department, where a colleague thought it would be nice to create a game within the Central Bohemian region. Naturally, they contacted the centers, which number 5 in the Central Bohemian region.
The game was prepared collaboratively by organizations responsible for ecological education. In addition to nature and ecology, visitors will also encounter animals from some local rescue stations.
The participating centers are essentially organizations established by the region. They focus mainly on education, environmental awareness, and offer various programs for families and schools.
This year, besides the 5 Central Bohemian centers, Prague has also participated again. During their visits, participants can collect magnetic puzzle pieces and put together a map.
It educates children and visitors about animals, the forests of the capital city, and their eco-center, the rainforest, focusing more on nature and botanical matters.
Participants who put together all 6 pieces of the puzzle can receive a minor prize, yet the objective goes beyond just playing the game.
This is particularly true in the education sector of basic amateur schools, which our organization, United with Nature, frequently visits.
The purpose of the visitor game is not only to present ecological education centers, but primarily to demonstrate that nature can be discovered in enjoyable and significant ways, with children, friends, and during school trips.
The Prague City Council has given the green light to the next stage of the preparation of a new district of the border of Prague 4 and 12. The Nové Dvory location will become home to hundreds of new residents thanks to the so-called Project 6. In addition to city rental apartments, shops, offices, schools and a cultural center are also to be built here.
The project looks like a fresh idea at first, but it has years of preparation and planning behind it, and now it is becoming more defined. Prague City Hall has approved the planning of a new neighborhood in the new courtyards. The so-called Project 6 aims to create hundreds of new urban apartments, shops and facilities for public services.
The project, while it may not look entirely appropriate on site, has actually undergone 5 years of preparation. The preparation consisted of identifying land ownership and coordinating technical details with the building of the Nové Dvory station. The crucial aspect was the modification of the land use plan. This process has already occurred and was preceded by citizen engagement and the development of a land study for decision-making land. The study defined the volumetric and urban characteristics of the future site, covering almost 15 hectares of land.
New courtyards are one of the biggest development sites in the city. The city wants to focus on professions that face challenges in finding affordable housing in the new apartments, like healthcare workers, teachers, and single parents.
We clearly stated our priorities regarding which professional groups, and indeed which groups of residents we want to rent our apartments to. We have established the rules for rental housing in this way, ensuring that no one has to fear any deviation from our promises. There are plans for the future to create up to 5,000 apartments, which will also lead to job creation.
The district proposal includes a focus on economic self-sufficiency and cultural life, with an administrative zone and community center intended to invigorate the locality.
The new courtyards will encompass, in addition to the residential function that clearly dominates, approximately 10,000 square meters of rental space in a compact shopping center located in the vicinity of this exit from the future metro station. Additionally, there will be around 50,000 square meters of office space available for rent, which indicates an element which ensures that there will be opportunities for economic activity and it won't just be a shelter. There is also a plan for a second socio-cultural center for about 300 seated and up to 800 standing spectators.
Currently, the project is awaiting a building permit, which we should receive shortly. And if all goes according to plan, I think that it should be ready for the first residents to move in within a year. It is indeed, as I often say, the greatest challenge in all planning, particularly housing, that the processes we must navigate as a capital city are so incredibly lengthy and, from my perspective, sometimes even unnecessarily so, that unfortunately we cannot speed them up. But laws are laws, and I plan to focus on this in the future. And if we truly want to ensure housing for everyone, especially for the majority that is calling for it, we must do something about this.
The project includes investments in schools and green spaces. Should construction commence at current prices, the overall costs are projected by the Prague Development Company to be over 15 billion crowns.
Did you know that 2% of the bins are used clothes and they can still be useful? There is a solution. A new portal connects the city, the state and the non-profit sector. It helps Prague residents sort their clothes and shows that those old clothes can have a future.
About 2% of what fills the trash bins in Prague is clothing, and although most textiles can still be useful, many people are clueless about how to proceed with them. The initiative Dress Prague is here to change that. The website, designed by Odivny Bank alongside Prague and the Ministry of the Environment, provides guidance on how to sort clothing correctly, simply and sustainably.
A portal is being created to help people figure out how to use textiles they no longer want to apply. Hence, it is an educational endeavor, which is genuinely intended to educate the citizens of Prague and to incorporate the circular economy into their regular lives. So it feels familiar that they can't yet conceive.
The portal's presentation featured results from Agenturism's research showing that nearly half of the participants sort their clothing just once a year or less. Most often, unwanted clothing ends up in textile containers, with only just under 5% of Prague residents donating it to charitable organizations.
Women generally do this more often, while men tend to sort their wardrobes less frequently and also shop less. Primarily older individuals aged 60 and above, who are more sustainable in this area, since they do not make such drastic changes as younger people tend to do.
Dress Prague's objective is to help people find their way. On the website oblečprahu.ez, they will find a map of the nearest collection points, as well as tips on how and where to donate clothing they no longer wear. The entire platform is backed by the Odivny Bank.
Essentially, it is a very simple interactive web platform where people can find not only basic advice and tips on how to recycle effectively, but primarily, via a simple form, they can reach an interactive map that shows them the best donation spots for their clothing according to their preferences.
The website conveys a straightforward message. Sorting clothing not only protects the environment but also aids others. This is the essence of the circular economy, when we cease to discard items and begin to share them instead.
The first mobile application room for drug addicts could be operational in Prague by the end of the year. The city hopes the project will reduce the number of discarded needles and improve contact with drug users. A similar model has already proven successful in Brno.
By the end of this year, Prague may have mobile application rooms for drug addicts, which the city believes will help reduce the number of discarded needles.
The other important thing is to successfully establish contact with drug-dependent individuals and to influence them in some manner. We certainly cannot expect to cure them. We cannot expect to heal them or eliminate their addiction with this outpatient treatment. They are simply identified, aware, and they comprehend as well. They are realizing the problem isn't just theirs.
This is essentially a mobile clinic offering a safe and clean environment for interesting injection practices. The drug has been functioning in Brno for a year and a half. We work in the heart of Brno, in a socially excluded locality with a significant rate of opiate consumption, which is quite specific.
It has been very effective. For instance, in Brno, the mobile application room is utilized by approximately 1 to 2 users each day.
They have stable locations where they provide these services, so clients have become accustomed to it and come to access the services they need, particularly the clean injection materials. We have incorporated this mobile application room into the training program, thus serving current clients.
The City Hall has been striving for a longer time to open 3 new contact centers that offer drug addicts needle exchange and other services. The first one will open by year-end near Holešovice station, with plans for 9 in Prague and 1 in Prague 1.
Thank you for spending this time with us in Praha TV Weekly News. I'm Marcela Tomčíková, and I'll be back soon with more stories from the heart of Prague and beyond. Until then, be safe, be kind, and see you soon.